After a person has died, if they had any assets of value, at some point the question is going to come up, who are going to receive those assets? And the first people to come to mind are usually the heirs. But if a person was named as a beneficiary, even if they were not an heir, he or she would be the one to receive those assets. Today we're going to talk about what a beneficiary is and some important things you need to know. Hi, I'm Denise Davis, a North Carolina Realtor and a certified probate real estate specialist. I help people who are going through the probate process, who needs to file probate, and who also has real estate to sell. Now, before we get started, I ask that you please subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Now let's dive in. Now, when a person opens up an account, such as a retirement account, a life insurance policy, an annuity account, pensions, banks and investment accounts, and even some government accounts, they're usually asked, do you want to name a beneficiary? Now, when someone names a beneficiary on their account, what they are saying is, when I am no longer alive, I want this person to have this. Usually it's money. Now, the first thing to keep in mind is that a designated beneficiary supersedes the heirs and it overrides a will. So if a man named John Doe passed away and his wife remembered that he had an account at the bank, and she goes to the bank to request that his money be moved into an estate account, she takes with her the death certificate as well as the letters from the court requesting that this money be moved. Now, when the bank looks into John Doe's account, they're going to find that John actually made his best friend Curtis the beneficiary. Curtis was someone he knew before he met his wife, and he forgot to go back to the bank and take Curtis off. So it was never changed. So who would get the money? Curtis would. When it comes to probate, the executor of the estate is only responsible for managing the items or the assets that are in probate. When John made Curtis the beneficiary of the account, that account became a non-probate asset. So even his wife, although she's the executor of the estate, she cannot change it because a beneficiary supersedes the heirs, it supersedes the will, and it also supersedes the executor. Now, let's say there's a lady named Barbara Doe, and she's dating a guy named Mark. She thinks they're going to get married and be together forever, so she named him as the beneficiary over her pension plan at work. A few years later, things fall apart, they break up, they go their own way. She later meets her future husband, who she later marries, have children, and she decides to create a will. In the will, she names her husband as the beneficiary over all of her accounts, but she forgets to remove Mark from off of the actual pension plan with her job. So now we have two beneficiaries, one named in the will and one named on the account that is managed by her employer. If she never goes in and have Mark removed from her pension account with her employer, and she later dies, Mark will be the one to collect her pension because a beneficiary on an account will always supersede a beneficiary who's named in a will. So some may ask, if a beneficiary supersedes a will, then why get a will? Because in a will, you leave instructions for everything else that has to go through probate. So if you didn't name a designated beneficiary, say for your house or for your car, for your antiques, for your jewelry, it's in the will that you would want to make your wishes known. It's in the will that you would want to leave instructions on how you want your assets to be dispersed to your loved ones. Accounts with a named beneficiary does not have to go through probate, but accounts that does not have a named beneficiary will become a part of the probate process. So I hope this helps you understand what a beneficiary is, and more importantly, to remember to change it if you're no longer in relations with that person, or if you want someone that is more important to you to have what you have when you die. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And until the next video, be blessed and don't forget to subscribe.